our comments have exploded
through the roof.
So there you go. Comments exploded
Through the roof.
Yeah, I think this week's guest can help us do that because of the amazing work that we're doing. Excited to have Brad Peterson on the show from Power Packs. We'll bring Brad on here in just a minute. But it's Monday at 2 o'clock right here in the heart of Lancaster. Gardener's Mattress and More, where we broadcast Lancaster Connects live from every Monday at 2 o'clock. Set your clock to it. We're always here with our show, putting a great spotlight on great people doing great work here in Lancaster for you, our community, and our friends and neighbors. So we're excited to bring you the show.
I like that little intro. Well done.
Yeah, I can throw down every now and then.
How was your weekend?
It was a good weekend.
Yeah.
A little campsite action, some football action. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, you had two good football actions. You had
my son's
football, the Bulldogs.
Son's team won.
Yep. And your boys?
Yeah, my Eagles.
You almost said Cowboys.
Well,
I didn't try to bait you into it. I realized when I said boys,
I watched them tie last night.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just funny.
In this day and age, how do you? I mean, I know how you ended a tie. That's the rules, right?
It's 40-40, and that's a tie.
Tie, but like, can't they institute something where there's not a tie? Like,
well, they've tried. They've tried. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like when you just want to be average, you tie.
Well done. Oh, brother.
It keeps the people going on it's our year promise, and it keeps the people going on.
What's Chris got for us here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was Penn State. Now, boy,
what a heartbreaker for that team and fan base.
I wouldn't call it a heartbreaker. I would call it what we know.
Although that's true, James Franklin can't win the big game.
4-21.
Yeah, that versus ranked opponents, right? Or top 10 opponents, some crazy stat. Yeah, I turned that game on in the fourth, I think, and maybe they were down 2 scores. They came back and tied it, had that like massive drive at the end, tied the game, went into OT and scored first, right? And then led up to 2 more scores and
just couldn't bring it home. Interception.
Tough one.
Yeah, it's an electric environment, the whiteout.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
But
it's gotta be loud to be an opponent and to be in the middle of that.
It's a whole vibe. Yep. Whole vibe. I would say 6-7 vibe.
Oh, God. I think we've jumped the shark.
I wanted to just throw that out there because my boys, I have 2 boys, they're 17 and 21, and we're well beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a son that's all into that.
It's very much a thing.
Manheim Township baseball that you coach and volunteer for is all into that.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd throw it out there just because I have no idea what it's all about.
No clue. It makes zero sense to me. I don't know if I got baited into it a couple weeks ago or if it just happened, but my team was down 4-7. We scored a 5th run. We scored a 6th run. The kids asked me, Coach Ben, what's the score? And I said, it's 6-7. Not thinking. I mean, I know what the deal is, but I wasn't thinking. And they're all like, 6-7. Like, I mean, either they're very smart and baited me into it, or they just,
they totally baited you into it. So, anyway.
Well, that's the thing. They never know the score. They always think it's like, 22-2 when it's, a lot closer than that. It's just kids, right?
Yeah. Back in my day, my coach flipped his cigarette butt at us if we asked the score.
and beamed you with a pitch.
He smoked his cigarettes like this, and if you asked the score, he flicked it at you. And then he fired another one up.
I don't think I can do that.
Times have changed. Times have changed.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that was the 80s.
Yeah.
Anything happened in the 80s.
Yeah. Speaking of change, my mattress tip for you this week as we roll into our time with Brad. But our mattress tip for you before we get started is this one. So reviews don't necessarily equal research when it comes to a mattress. We would love nothing more for our mattresses to be very objective, like the objective points you consider, say, buying an appliance, buying a new car. Let's say you have a family of 6 and 7.
I was really into your tip too, and then you went there.
But say you have a large family, and you can't buy a small 4-door sedan. You're going to have to get a minivan or a 3rd-row SUV. you know, very early, your family situation determines the objective fact of the vehicle you're going to purchase.
That makes sense.
A mattress just isn't the same, right? We can have 6 or 7 people try out a mattress, and you're going to have 6 or 7 different opinions on that mattress, even though they're all the same 6 and 7 body types. I'm on a roll here.
Chris is just going to like mute you, I think.
The reality is you're going to get different opinions.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean by reviews don't necessarily mean research. Now Chris is in on it. Great.
Skrilla. That's a Skrilla. Skrilla did it.
Yeah. I'm so sad that I opened this can of worms now. So when you're looking at reviews, obviously who's giving the review matters. The context of the review matters. The time of the review matters. And what I mean by not research, I think when you're looking at reviews of a company, and we have a lot, we highlight one every week, Ben does here on the show. You can look at them on our Google business page. You can look at them on Facebook, our handwritten reviews. Really, our reviews, in our case, point to the experience you get in the store. And that can be objective. Right? We know what a great customer experience is, and you'll read all about that with our reviews. But reviews for mattress research are really odd in that often they're given right away. So we don't know the long-term satisfaction. If you look to Amazon, you see a lot of reviews and a lot of great products. But what you don't know is how that product holds up, and you really don't even know the quality of that product. And as has been the case in the news this year, there have been many times legitimately 6 or 7 issues of importers of record gaming the system. You know, mattresses aren't fire retardant, harsh chemicals, you know, skirting around logistical anti-dumping duties and tariffs. And it's harmful, in a word. It's harmful. And that's not shown in the reviews. None of these companies go back and put an asterisk with every single review.
Yep.
Right. You know, just like Cowboys fans can say we're 5 times champions. Yeah, but you got to get your VCR out to watch the highlights. Right. Like there's context to those statements. There's context to those reviews. And so reviews don't always mean great research. They can mean great guidance into what you're going to experience in a store. And, you know, we got a little off track there with the 6-7 talk. Apologize if you stuck with me. I hope that's helpful. So whatever you're buying, look to those reviews to give you the context of the experience you're going to get, the experience the seller is going to give you, the support they're going to give you, and really how they're going to treat your investment with them. That's what I would share with you in this week's mattress tip.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. If you're just focused on one lane of research, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Exactly. Without too much further ado, we put our guest Brad through it there. He might know some of that 6-7 talk because he works a lot with kids nowadays. Maybe you hear that in the halls of Power Packs. I don't know, but Brad Peterson from Power Packs, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thanks for educating me. I had never heard that phrase before, so I'm now with it, right?
You're very much with it, and you're probably going to hear it like 3 or 4 more times. Hopefully, not during this show, but maybe like
I'm done.
Journey later today or tomorrow, you'll hear it and you'll be like, I know what that is now. Well, hey, so Brad, this is your second time on Lancaster Connects. Thanks for being back on the show. We determined, I think Jeff and I collectively thought that it was probably like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago that Brad was on the show. No, it was December of 2021. So almost 4 years ago when we highlighted Power Packs last. So, again, welcome back, and we'd love to get an update. But first, tell us what Power Packs is for those who aren't familiar or may not have watched our first episode with you.
Sure. So thanks again for having me. Really appreciate it. Always anxious and excited to talk about Power Packs. So just a little bit of history about Power Packs. So Power Packs started back in 2005 right here in Lancaster City at Carter McRae Elementary. A woman named Joan Espenshade was volunteering there, and week after week, she kept seeing kids lined up at the nurse's station on Monday mornings. And when she finally asked why, the nurse told her it's because the kids hadn't eaten all weekend and they had a bellyache, which is horrible. God bless Joan. Joan said, I can't let that happen here. So Joan put together what she loves to still talk about, a kitchen table committee, because they worked out of her house for about 4 years. She and her husband, family, friends, people they went to church with, they identified 14 families at Carter McRae, and they went out and bought groceries every Friday so those kids had something to eat over the weekend. And that's how Power Pack started. In 2009, we officially became a 501c3 nonprofit. And since those early days, our mission has not changed. It's still all about just supplying weekend meals to kids so that when they go back to school Monday morning, they're well fed and ready to learn. We really emphasize nutrition. We want to get the healthiest food out to those kids as we possibly can, and empower those families to make better, healthier food choices in everything they do.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I think a lot of folks might miss that. It's not their view of the world, not what they experience. Pretty easy to go home when you have food in your pantry and not even think about that reality.
This is a silent problem. I mean, it really is. Yeah. I mean, I always tell people, people are shocked when I tell them, that we're serving 200 families in Hempfield School District every week. Places where you don't think there are food insecure families. But your kids are going to school with kids, you're going to church with people, you're working with people maybe. It's something that you can't see it, but it exists in all facets of everything we do.
Yeah.
So can you kind of give us a little bit of an insight into how it actually works? I know you're located in Greenfield area. I'm sure you have a team of volunteers. But how does it work with this? You work with a number of school districts, I know. How does it actually work? Are you delivering the meals to the schools? Are people coming to you? How does it work?
So yeah, our model is a little bit different than a lot of other weekend feeding programs like us. We partner directly with school districts. This year, we are now at 18 school districts. 11 of those here in Lancaster County. The others are in Lebanon and York counties. I have my list in front of me. I'll tell you the 11, but if I don't look at my list, I always forget somebody. Conestoga Valley, Columbia, Cocalico, Donegal, Hempfield, LS, Penn Manor, Manheim Township, Warwick, and School District of Lancaster. And then our newest this year, we just started, Peckway Valley. What we do is we partner with those school districts to, lots of times, a social worker or someone from the district will come to us asking what a partnership would look like, how we can help their families in their district. And that's how it started with Peckway Valley this year. They had a church who had been doing a weekend program for about 15 years, and the church finally could not sustain it any longer. So they reached out to us, asked us, what that would look like. After many conversations and us doing some research, which we always do, we said yes, and we're distributing now in Peckway Valley School District. A lot of those packs are delivered directly to schools. We have about 60 distribution sites in Lancaster County this year. Wow. The vast majority of them school sites, but we also have churches, rec centers, other places like that give later hours. So if a family doesn't want their child taking it home from school and the families, they're working, they can get there like at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when they get out of work to pick up their weekly pack.
So you've really figured out the logistics to make it work for every possible person that could be in need.
We like to think so. It doesn't always work that way, but
Sure.
we do our best to try to remove all the barriers we possibly can for people.
Well, I wanted to interject here, Ben, to your question, and Brad, your answer, and where Power Pack started. Somebody saw a need and took action. And so if you're watching right now, we almost always get to the point of the time, talent, and treasure conversation about volunteerism. And so if you're hearing this and you're like, I'm in Peckway Valley, I like already what I hear about Power Packs. How can I help? Well, you could reach out to Power Packs and you could say, what's the time burden there in Peckway Valley School District? Which site is it? Which school? And can I help distribute? Like, I don't know if specifically there's a need there being it just started. But maybe there isn't, but maybe there isn't another school nearby, or maybe there isn't another site nearby. And you said, the church had to stop because they couldn't sustain. I don't know what that is. Maybe it was volunteerism. The reality is, if we don't have hands on deck, we can't affect the mission. Money is needed. Money's always needed. But Brad, is it true you'll always take a volunteer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had over 6,500 volunteer hours last year, which is incredible. That's more than 3 full-time employees, the amount of hours. But we can always use more volunteers. And I can tell you directly, Pequea Valley, we're looking for some delivery drivers, because all that food that goes out our doors is all delivered out to those sites by volunteers. Yep. So if anyone's out in that area, and we're right now working with Paradise Elementary and Salisbury Elementary, it would be an hour out of your day on a Thursday. If you want to be a delivery driver, come pick up at our warehouse, drive back to the elementary school, drop it off. Please get in touch with us. We'd love to have you become part of our volunteer team.
Yeah. And again, we're highlighting Pequea Valley simply because it's new, but you live in Manheim, you live in Hempfield, you live in Conestoga, I heard, Warwick. Look on their site where they are distributing, reach out to Power Packs. It is needed. And it's just how we help with this show of making these specific call outs, and Power Packs obviously hasn't figured out the distribution, but they do need the lift. They need the hands on deck to help make the mission happen.
Yeah,
such great work.
And it's not even just the hands-on, like packing in our warehouse and things like that. We have volunteers that come in and help us with administrative duties, with our enrollment, with our database, all those kinds of things. I always say, if you have a talent, we'll find a way to use it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And that's the talent aspect of time, talent treasure. Maybe you've got certain skills, and maybe you're more introverted and you're just better behind a computer screen helping with a website or a spreadsheet, which Jeff and spreadsheets is just like brain matter starts to come out of my ear. But maybe that's you, and that's fantastic. And places like Power Packs can use that help. So that's a great little part of our discussion here. I love that.
Brad, I'm curious. This show is actually third in a line of food-based nonprofits that we've had on the show. 2 weeks ago, we had Pastor Matt Lenahan from the Whittle Farm over in Elizabethtown. Last week, we had Aaron and Paige from Lancaster County Food Hub, and of course, you here with Power Packs. So I'm curious where the food comes from and what is inside these. I'm assuming you're calling them packs. What is a family taking home inside their pack?
So I know Pastor Matt really well. We get food from Whittle Farm. I know Paige and Aaron really well from the Food Hub. We partner with them on a variety of things. Yes, so our packs have evolved over time. It's a box right now. In that box, what they're receiving every week is a recipe and all the ingredients for that recipe, as well as then like pantry items like cereal, peanut butter, some canned goods, a healthy snack. They always get a protein of some kind, whether that's canned tuna or canned chicken or fresh ground beef or beans of some kind. There's fresh milk, and there's also always fresh produce. So for instance, last week, our recipe was Cajun catfish. And yeah, we like once a year we get a donation of frozen catfish, and the families absolutely love it. It was Cajun catfish. Yeah, there you go, with roasted potatoes. The 3 fresh items you see there on the left, they got lemon, onion, and potatoes. And on the bottom of that, you can see we always show families the cost of the ingredients. That's inflated because the 2-pound bag of catfish is about $20 itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We try to keep that to under $10 to show families they can make a healthy meal on a budget. It's been harder to do that for the last year or so. We've been running more around like maybe $11 or $12, but still not bad for a healthy meal for a family of 4.
Yeah.
And on the back of that recipe, we give nutrition tips. This is about things that are in season now. Potatoes are in season now. They're getting potatoes. there's a large farm in northern Maryland that we visit frequently, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. We came back last week with 3 tons of potatoes from that farm.
Wow.
That's a lot of French fries.
That's a lot of potatoes, 6,000 pounds.
Yeah. So potatoes last week, and they'll be getting potatoes again this week.
And that's you wanted to make a 6-7 joke so badly. I could tell. I could tell you wanted to say 6,000 to 7,000 pounds. You said 6,000. I saw your lips curl. You were right there. That's the reason for the pause. Brad, back to the show.
Right back. Let's get right back to it.
I love the education aspect of this, and hopefully parents are getting their kids involved in making healthy food choices, and of course food preparation. That education can be invaluable for future. Correct?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the education is twofold. So what we give them as part of the recipe, might be on food prep, food storage, what dates on food means, all those kinds of things. But the second part of that is we really encourage families to prepare that meal together and to teach some real life skills to these kids, so that they know how to peel a potato or cut up a carrot or whatever, those kinds of things. So when they get out in the real world, that they're not totally inept in the kitchen, that they have an idea of what they're doing. So the education component is really a big part of what we do. I mean, everything we do revolves around the food, but the education component really sets us apart. There are very, very few organizations. As a matter of fact, we've been told that by people who know far more than me and get out a lot more than me, that we are the only nonprofit in the United States that has this model and that does what we do.
Wow. And it's right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I like about the packs going home, the recipe card, the time that families are getting together is just that. It's the time together. In this fast-paced world, I would imagine families that are food insecure, that do need your services, are probably, having 2 to 3 to 4 or more jobs. It's a revolving door in and out the front door, getting to school, getting to work. Maybe if there's sports involved or music class involved, like there's just so many things throughout the day. But I would like to think, with all the pressures going on, another benefit of Power Packs is the togetherness of the family. Has anybody been able to report that back to you, that that's a special part of what they like?
So we get lots of feedback back from our families. Actually, I had a mom tell me just probably within the last couple months, I was out at an event and interacted with this person. She said, I never know what I'm making for dinner, but when we get our Power Pack, I know what I'm making every night because I'm making what you're giving us. And to us, that's what it's all about. And we want that family to sit down and have that meal together, have that family time, strengthen that family dynamic. Stronger families is stronger communities. That's better for all of us. Yeah, and there's nothing better than having that time around the table to learn what your kids are doing. What happened in school that day? What are you doing, as you said, with sports or music or whatever all those other activities are. And we really encourage that with all of our families.
Yeah. And, I thought of this a few minutes ago, and I want to comment on it. Let's say you're watching, you pick this show up, you pick up a reel. You're like, this problem doesn't affect me. I'm not food insecure. My kid goes to school. I can donate some money. A child that's hungry could and possibly does affect you. It might affect your student as a learner in the classroom. Brad, you could speak on this. A child that is hungry can, at times, there are behavioral problems that come up, and it's not because the kid's bad. They're just hungry, the term hangry is there for a reason, right? When you're hungry, other problems manifest. And so don't dismiss this as something that doesn't affect you, because it might affect your child beside that child who is hungry. And I'm getting to the point of, you could help this solution by helping Power Packs. Can you speak to the connection of behavioral problems and hungry in the classroom?
Sure. So in many, many presentations I give, there was a study done by the Food Resource Action Committee, I think is FRAC is the acronym, a few years ago. really showing how hunger, how food insecurity impacts children in school and their health and all those things. And there's a direct correlation. Kids who are not getting enough to eat are not doing as well in school. They're absent more. There's more times that kids drop out of school. And there's a direct correlation also to the nutrition that they're not receiving and health problems later in life. Kids don't grow and develop properly the way they should. So this is something that is not only a problem in the immediate need of the child, but for later in life and all throughout their life if they aren't getting the nutrition they need at an early age.
Yep. Yep.
Brad, so you were telling us that the current Power Packs warehouse and facility is about 5 years old, I think you said. Started around COVID, right? You launched that facility. Mm-hmm. And I believe you're now in the middle of an expansion project?
So, yes. We've been seeing about 5 to 10% just organic growth every year. Between 2023-24 school year and last school year, our numbers jumped up about 30%.
Wow.
We went from serving about 1,400 families a week to 1,750. And we were maxed out in our warehouse. We were beyond capacity. There were times you could barely walk through the warehouse with all the pallets on the floor and everything. Yeah. We knew we needed to grow to continue serving our families. So we were really fortunate as we started looking for growth opportunities and more space. Right on the other side of this wall, the tenant that was next door to us, they needed to grow as well, and they moved out. So we had 5,000 square feet of warehouse space become available to us right next door.
That's great.
So last November, we moved added that space, more than doubled our warehouse space, added about 85 rack spaces. Just this past May, we put in a large capacity cooler. When I say large capacity, 20 feet by 24 feet by 16 feet high, which has enabled us as we keep pushing to do more and more fresh product, dairy, produce, things like that. It has now enabled us to be able to wheel pallets right into that cooler and take even more, which is why we can get that 6 tons of potatoes. You know, we've all summer long, we were taking our truck out different places and coming back with full bins of sweet corn or green beans or cucumbers or whatever, and filling that cooler with the good stuff, with the stuff that we really want to give to families. And we didn't have the capacity for that in the past. So it's really been a game changer for us.
Yeah. Taking on 5,000 feet, 20 by 24 by 16 foot cold cooler doesn't come free. You know, how does that operational budget that goes up, how does that get covered? Who helps you cover that?
Well, I write a lot more grants. You know, we're going out and looking for new sources of funding. Yeah, I mean, the cooler comes at a cost of, it was between $75,000 and $100,000.
Wow, yeah.
The adding the space is great. It doubled our lease here where we are. Yep. So for us to be able to continue serving the people, you know, in the way that we want to and get them the food they need, we just need to raise more money. And we've been fairly fortunate to be able to do that so far, but you know, that's a never-ending process. We're continually out there looking for new sources of revenue.
Yeah. John Arisman, I call him Mr. Lancaster, has kind words there for you that you're the best.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, John, thanks for tuning in, being a supporter. Extra Give's right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
We're 6-7 weeks away, literally. I said that with no intention of the joke.
I don't believe that.
No, I mean, on my honor, I really, truly did. Is there any, and there's all kinds of gamification and multipliers to Extra Give. Is there anything on your radar right now that you can share here on the show related to Extra Give?
Well, just look and see when the magic minute is out there, and when some of those matching times are, and things like that. Extra Give is by far our biggest fundraiser of the year. We rely on those dollars, and every dollar really does count. So if you're on the fence or looking for someone to support that you haven't supported in the past, I will ask you to kindly consider Power Packs.
Well, while we're on the subject of fundraising, I know you host events and have other ways that the community can get involved, including other fundraising efforts. Maybe talk a little bit about some of those maybe upcoming events and ways you have for the community to get involved.
Sure. So actually, one event that we do every year, this was the 4th year we partner with the Stormers. As a back to school event, we do a Pack the Park with Protein. And it's just that we're collecting canned tuna, canned chicken, and peanut butter. We're still picking up at some of those locations that just ended last week.
Wow.
But lots and lots. I mean, thousands of pounds of food that we're getting into our inventory from that. There you go. Silo was here helping us pack and helping us promote. Every May we do a stay-at-home gala. We ask people not to dress up, not get a babysitter, save all that money, and come back to Power Packs and just make a donation and sit down with their family and have a meal at home in celebration of what we do. And then something that we just started 2 years ago, every June now, we have a pickleball tournament. We do it indoors at Millersville. It's like I said, it's only 2 years in. It grew in year 2. We'd love to see it grow more in year 3. An easy, fun way to help us raise money for our mission.
Pickleball's the hot sport right now.
Pickleball Palooza for Power Packs. How about that for alliteration?
That Power Packs Project Pickleball Palooza. Say that fast 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I can't even start off. Power Packs Pickleball Palooza. Yeah, I like that. That's great. So 3rd year coming up. So I guess that'll be June next year.
Absolutely. Yes. Don't have the date scheduled yet. Check back sometime in the spring and we'll get that scheduled.
Yeah. So lots of need as always to run the mission that you're doing. One thing I thought of there as you were talking, obviously propelling fundraising, continuing to fill the need comes from somewhere. And you've been a part of research projects. And you said Power Packs, your model is the only one in the nation. Was that what prompted being a part of those research projects? Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have 2 projects going on right now. One is nearing completion. The other one's been ongoing. The one nearing completion. So we were talking about volunteers earlier. We had a woman and her daughter who were volunteering in our warehouse. Loved what they were doing, but she came to me and said, I could probably help you more with something else. Turns out she's a math professor at F&M. Many conversations later, we worked out she and some of her students, we gave them access to 3 years of our recipes and the cost of the ingredients, our cost of the ingredients for those recipes, not the retail cost. They are going back through and studying what is the most nutritious at the best cost for us. So that we'll be able to strategically then say what recipes we should replicate because it's getting the best food into the hands of families on their plates at the best cost for us. Something that is amazing, truly groundbreaking for us, if not for other nonprofits. And then the other study that we're doing, we're in year 5, I think, with the Child Development Social Policy Lab. It's 3 professors from Duke, Georgetown, and the University of Chicago. And all they do is study childhood food insecurity across the country. We're in the midst, just started year 2 of a project that they're doing, a qualitative study to study. They're getting anonymous academic and absenteeism data from a couple of our school district partners on kids who are receiving Power Packs. And when we get this 2 years done, they're going to take that data and then compare it to these kids' peers who are not receiving Power Packs to see if we're truly making a difference in how these kids are doing in school. which
Wow.
we have a feeling that we are. I've talked about this with a couple other people, and I've heard from the Department of Ag here in Pennsylvania and the USDA, and they've not known of any other nonprofits who's done a study like this, and they're really interested in us sharing the results when we get them back.
Yeah. Will, just as you're talking about this, will participation in these studies, the data that comes through, will that help your grant writing and grant access? Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. A lot of grants want to say, how do you measure success? Well, it'll be hard data for us to say that whatever that Power Pack's kids are doing, whatever 5%, 6% better than their peers in school. Funders want to know that they're making an impact, and we'll be able to show them that hard data and prove that we are.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Tremendous kind of ace in this up the sleeve, so to say, right? To have that data there on your side.
Yeah, and we're not doing it for that reason. We just want to show that Power Packs actually does make a difference.
Yeah. Right, but it's helpful.
Absolutely, and it will help us go to other schools and talk to families and say, look, we're making a difference with these children and what they're doing in school. Sign up, help your family, help your child.
Yeah. And even as you go to that school and maybe they don't get the program off the ground right away, you can say, well, this is our program. Here's your horizon, and we need volunteers. We need these steps. Maybe we can talk about that. What are those steps to bring a school on board? But here's your horizon. And in the meantime, here are some referrals and recommendations that we can make for you to fill that bridge until we get Power Packs up and operational on your site. And so let's talk about what those steps are for a new site to come on board with Power Packs.
Yeah, like I said, normally the first outreach comes from someone from the school district, a social worker, a counselor, or someone. Then we have conversations. We do research. We use a lot of hunger mapping. Central Pennsylvania Food Bank has done a great job in area around here doing hunger mapping, showing, for instance, like areas of high food insecurity and low food distribution, and where food insecurity percentages are the highest. So we will look at that to see where we can make the greatest impact. And then in addition to that, obviously it comes down to logistics, transportation, volunteers, like you said, all of those kinds of things. So, for instance, when we decided to move into York County, it made sense for us logistically because we don't have a facility in York County. We started in Eastern York School District and then Red Lion, two of the farther eastern end of the county, because it's closer to where we are in Lancaster to get the food there.
Right.
So we, this is not just throwing a dart at a map. There's a lot of research, a lot of study, and it's very strategic to talk about and determine, who we're going to partner with.
Yeah. And I would think, let me ask the question this way. Is it part of your process that when you do choose a site, the decision is to sustain for the reason of it would be heartbreaking to start, give hope, and then stop?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for instance, I mentioned Peckway Valley, the program went away. In Red Lion, where we went, I was told that there had been 2 different weekend programs that started and failed. We never want that to happen. And that's why we're also very strategic in, we added Peckway Valley this year. We had conversations with 3 other school districts that we declined because we didn't feel like it was feasible for us logistically to be able to add more than 1 this year. We'll revisit all of those down the road and hopefully be able to say yes to them in increments. But we want to be sustainable because we never want to start something that we can't follow through on.
So what, and not to put you on the spot, but what goes into having to say no? You said you looked at 3 school districts, you could pick 1. Like, what happens that you make that pick for the 1 that gets picked, and what goes into saying no to the other 2?
To be perfectly honest, right now it's uncertainty. With everything that's happening globally, I'll put it that way, we don't know how much our numbers may go up when we're talking about cuts to SNAP benefits and things like that. How many more people are going to reach out to us asking for help? So as we just talked about, I don't want to say yes to a school district and then have more families come to us and really have a difficult time meeting all of the people who are asking for help. It's a matter of how much food we can source. It's a matter of volunteer manpower, all of those logistics. So I would rather say no now and then in 6 months come back and revisit it and hopefully be able to say yes and add them then once we have our new school district all set up, everything's running smoothly, and then look at maybe possibly adding someone else.
Yeah.
There's a trickle down effect.
Yep. Yeah. And so if you're hearing this, and that's hard to hear, and Brad, I'm sure I know it pains you to say no.
I hate to say no.
Yeah.
My team will tell you that Brad never says no. I mean, and that's not obviously true, but it's rare that I say no.
Yeah. And so if you've had to say no, or it's like, boy, we really need this, but I'm not sure if we have the logistics, help Power Packs say yes, right? Like do some of that groundwork to rally volunteers. Look into your local PTO committee, your local community group, your local parents group, and, share. This is something that, 8 out of 10 of us in this group, in this room, may not face this problem, but all of our kids are in the classroom together, and we should care about the student beside us. Our children should care about the child beside them, if not for anything, because it affects the environment by which all of our kids live, but we should care about this kid beside us. And so let's all take a little bit of time and rally the troops and build a volunteer network and present the best case to Power Packs, so that way when it comes time to say yes in the future, it's not just a yes, it's like, yeah, we're all in. It's a resounding yes, because we know it's going to sustain. We know it's going to be successful. Is that the way maybe to bring the case to Power Packs?
Absolutely. I mean, we're a staff of 6.
Oh, wow.
So when I tell people that the year that just ended for us, we provided 662,000 meals.
Yeah,
100,000, more than 100,000 per person on staff.
Yeah. Yes, 5 full-time, 1 part-time, and of those, about 400,000 of those meals were in Lancaster County.
Yeah.
So this is something that we do well, and we want to continue doing. We want to continue growing. We want to continue getting families the nutrition they need to provide the fuel to kids so they can do well in school and grow and develop properly and never have to worry about not having enough to eat, because that's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Boy, you're doing just a tremendous amount of great work. On the topic of recipes and best bang for the buck and nutrition, my wife surprised the heck out of me the other day. She made tuna fish sushi.
Oh,
this sushi rice showed up at home. I thought one of my boys are into fitness and nutrition and weightlifting and macros, and I don't understand half of what they do. If you look at old photos of me here on the show, you can see I wasn't always focused on diet. Anyway, so she made this tuna fish sushi, and I love sushi. It was fantastic. Now, I'm not sure how many kids would get excited about sushi, but I'll just share that with you. I'd imagine tuna as a protein, canned tuna, is probably one of the best bang for buck nutrition things. So maybe that's a recipe that goes out. I don't know.
Hey, if you want to share it with us, we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Tuna is one of the items we use a lot.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. There you go. There's one of our tuna recipes right there. Our average cost per meal for us is $1.43.
Okay.
That's just a testament to the relationships we've built to receive donations, buying in bulk, getting deep discounts because we're buying truckloads of whatever, lemons or onions or whatever it is. So we once again just want to make sure kids have the healthiest food they possibly can. That's why, like, fresh milk is something we do. It's not easy to do fresh milk. Trust me, our life would be a lot easier if we didn't, probably. But there's nothing better than fresh milk for kids.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Brad, as we look to wrap up our time here talking about Power Packs, do you have a story or two, maybe from a participant in the program, where these meals that you're providing, these weekend meals, like really transformed their family, or the family dynamic, or just really made a difference in their lives? Do you have a story or two you can share?
So I was at an event last week at another nonprofit. And the person who runs that nonprofit, who will remain nameless, and I won't say the nonprofit, came up to me and told me that their family was a Power Packs family, that they were a Power Packs kid, and told me what it meant to them when they were receiving Power Packs. And that's why they are in the job they're in now.
Oh, wow.
Because they wanted to continue to give back, because someone gave back to them to help make a difference to them.
That's special.
And really? I'm telling you, I'm sitting here saying this right now, I have goosebumps, because it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
That is why we do what we do every single day. That's why we're getting 20,000 pounds of food out the door every week. Those are the stories that make me work my butt off every week to do as much as I possibly can. Yeah.
You're doing your best to solve the immediate need for that family, for that child, but then the long-term impact, that it's just not something you can really measure. I mean, how many more stories out there are like that, of people that who were in need, were helped by the community, and then they went on to do the same for others. That's just really special.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Brad, wonderful work that you're doing. Thank you for being the champion that you are, and the heart that you've got for this mission. It's appreciated. I want to say it here out loud, record it for all time, so long as this show stays up in all the places it goes out. But man, you're just doing such great work. Thank you for everything you're doing there with Power Packs. We've got all of their information in the show notes for you to get a hold of them. Please, you've heard about how to give your talents. They will never turn away a volunteer. So, on that front, you can volunteer your talents, you can volunteer your time, and of course, donations are always needed. Brad, one question I didn't ask you: what is your operational budget as far as dollars go annually?
About $1 million.
Yeah. I kind of concluded that when you said about $1.43 a meal and 660,000 meals. I did the quick math in my head. So the massive need to fill the bank account there to keep the great work at Power Packs going. If you can't donate time, you can't donate talent, maybe you can donate some money. And I'm sure, Brad, you have the set it and forget it donation, right? Donate $5 a month or a week or $10 a month. You have that little box you can check to make this recurring. And
recurring gifts are our friend. Yes.
Yes. Makes Brad's life so much easier, so he can focus on the true work of getting food into the bellies of the kids and the families that need it most. So, Brad, thanks for all you do. I think our guests have gotten to know you pretty well here on the show, but we're going to go one notch more with our Connection Cocktail.
But did we do Connection Cocktail with Brad the first time around?
This might be new.
I don't know. Did we do Connection Cocktail with you? I don't remember when we introduced it, but
I don't think so.
All right. So second time guest, first time Connection Cocktail guest. All right. We have been gathering from our guests some of their favorites. So like favorite book, favorite TV show, podcast. Do you have something you're really into right now?
So right now, TV shows, I'm for the first time watching The Sopranos.
Okay.
Oh man, you and I can jam out on Sopranos. I'm a massive Sopranos fan. We had a dog named Soprano.
Okay, I'm watching The Sopranos, and I'm also rewatching Cheers, which was always one of my favorites.
Cool. Yes.
So right now that I'm getting through both of those and loving them both.
That's awesome.
And as far as books, I just finished Team of Rivals. Doris Kearns Goodwin book on Abraham Lincoln and his genius.
Okay.
And it's quite a read. It'll take you a while, but it's an amazing book in the insight of Abraham Lincoln.
Very cool.
Very good share.
Yeah.
Team of Rivals. I'm gonna have to pick that one up. Love it. All right. So when you're not helping the wonderful people here at Lancaster and you have some time to get away, where is that dream vacation spot?
Well, in 3 weeks from now, I'll be in Italy. So that's one of them.
Okay. Yep.
But my dream vacation is not a spot. I'm a baseball nut. My dream vacation is 1 year doing all 30 Major League Baseball parks in one season.
That's cool. That's cool. I would love to do that as well. Maybe you and I can do it together. How about that?
Okay. I've been to almost all of them east of the Mississippi already, and a few west, but I really want to do them all in 1 year.
Yeah.
There's a book out there. I forget the name of the book. I read it many years ago, but there was two dudes who tried to do 30 parks in 30 days. It might be literally called 30 parks in 30 days. I don't know. I won't like ruin the surprise or whatever, ruin the ending. But yeah, 30 parks in 30 days. As you can imagine, there's a ton of logistical challenges, rainouts, delays, travel delays, because you gotta, of course they had to like map it all out. And it doesn't seem like that was, I think it was the ultimate road trip. It was one of the ones that was up there. Anyway, it was a cool book, and it's just like knowing that you want to do all 30 parks, to do it in 30 days is like,
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Yep.
I did 3 in 2 days once.
Okay. Like New York or Chicago.
I did Cleveland Saturday afternoon, Detroit Saturday night,
okay,
and Toronto Sunday afternoon.
All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty adventurous.
That's enough. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So what's your, this is like a 2B question. What's your favorite team?
I'm a Pirates fan.
You're a Pirates fan. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a long-suffering Pirates fan.
Yeah. I was going to say you've yes, long-suffering. We'll just leave it at that. We won't. Yeah. We won't.
We could have a whole other conversation about that.
All right, your last one, and I'm always interested to hear. Brad, I would consider you a figurehead here in Lancaster. You're well known for all your
I don't know about that,
for all your great work and connection to the community. So I'm always interested in how our guests respond to this one. If they play diplomat or if they just say it like it is. So your favorite local spot in Lancaster, and this can be a coffee shop, a restaurant, park, hidden gem.
Well, I'm a very active person outside of work. Well, I'm a very active person inside of work too.
Sure.
But I'm out with my dog walking. I'm on my bike. So a lot of the trails, the Northwest River Trail, Enola Low Grade Trail, Conewago. I mean, all the trails, and they aren't hidden gems. Maybe they are to some people.
Mm-hmm.
But the trails. One restaurant. If I have to pick one restaurant, I'm going to Luca.
Oh, yep.
There it is.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Great spot.
Yeah.
Great gluten-free pizza. The best, I think, in the county.
And you can't beat the tiramisu. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Got to have dessert.
Yeah. Eat it first.
Have it as an appetizer and a dessert. Is what you're saying?
That's when you're living life and enjoying life. You eat dessert first.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Brad, been a lot of fun. Thanks for all the work that you do. We know you've got another meeting. We'll let you get to it. Thank you so much for all the great work you do at Power Packs and being awesome here for the kids and the families that need you most. So thank you.
I appreciate it. And thank you for letting me spread the word a little bit. This is the best way to promote what we do. There's so many people that don't even know we exist, and they don't know that food insecurity exists here. So spreading the word, letting people know is paramount to solving the problem.
It is. Yep.
We're happy to help, Brad.
For everything from this show and more, go to powerpacksproject.org to get the whole story. And please, I'd love to know if you found a connection from this show, whether it's volunteerism, donation, or talents. Let us know. We'd love to hear back from you on that. And just know that this show made a connection for you with Brad and Power Packs and his team. So on that, we'll let you go, Brad. Thank you for your time and all your energies that you give there to the kids. So thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, boy. Obviously, the need's great. We've had 3 weeks in a row of this of food focus on food insecurity. So please you know, if this isn't something you've thought of or have to deal with, know that others do, and take some action. Again, whether it's time, talent, treasure, we'd love to see that you're doing it. You know, and yeah, that'd be really great to hear back.
Yeah,
that we've helped you make a connection to any one of those three greats that we've had on, and they're all interconnected. So it's not like you're, you know, saying yes to one doesn't necessarily mean you're saying no to the other two.
It's just funny how they lined up. I didn't plan that as much as I.
Oh, you should have. You should have said. I completely planned.
Yeah, I didn't plan it. But yeah, they all know each other. They all coordinate with each other, collaborate with each other. It's just, I mean, we say it all the time on this show. Like, it's cool to see on the back end after having these conversations how a lot of these organizations are interconnected in Lancaster County, and it's all about supporting those in need.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which interconnection relates to my sleep better tip. And so know that everything you do throughout your day is going to directly impact what happens at night. So if you've sucked back 3 monsters, which I'm not going to sit here and say I don't partake in any of that. I have mine that I have daily. But if you drink them past 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to be pretty much caffeined up. Yeah. Same with coffee.
Yep.
Caffeine, if anything, you're going to be opposite and in direct conflict with your body through about 10, 11 o'clock at night, typically. And so that's a problem. The things we eat are a problem. The stresses we take in are a problem. All of it connects to sleep. The biggest thing that I would implore to you is we prepare for a meeting. We prepared for this show. Brad prepared for this show. Brad prepares to write a grant at Power Packs Project. You prepare to get your kid coached up for their sport or their theater play. Your job, you're leading a team meeting. All this preparation. We're used to all of it. But then we just expect to turn off and go to sleep. How do we prepare to go to sleep? All of that matters. The things we do in our day are interconnected and matter. Get into a habit of wind down routine. Get into a habit of eating better as the day goes on. Get into a habit of less caffeine, more water. Obviously, don't chug the gallon of water you should drink in a day at 9 o'clock at night, because then you're going to be up in the bathroom all night. Think of how all these actions interconnect your day, and so that you're best prepared to sleep and get the restorative benefit of sleep throughout the night. We'll give you that and more sleep tips when you get our book, Sleep Better, gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. We'll mail you a free copy of the book.
Very nice. Very nice. Testimonial time for Gardener's Mattress and More. Got a handwritten testimonial here. Came in the mail this past week from our customer, Jane. She said her overall experience at Gardeners was very good. I went to Gardeners first, checked some other places, and went right back to Gardeners to get my mattress. Drew was very helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly. Drew gets that feedback all the time. Shout out to Drew. They had great customer service, and the delivery guys were nice. I really enjoyed the brownie treats she got in the mail, and I would highly recommend Gardener's Mattress and More to friends and family. So thank you very much, Jane. We do hear that often. Sometimes people make their decision the very first time they're here, but you know, smart consumers are likely going to shop around. You're going to shop around for maybe a car, an appliance, shoes, whatever it is that you're purchasing. That's cool. But we hear all the time how people come back to Gardeners after their maybe less than stellar experience other places. So Jane recognized our level of customer service and professionalism, and we're glad she came back and is now waking up happy and pain-free every morning, courtesy of Gardener's Mattress and More.
Yep. And so that review and testimonial goes right back to where we started the show with our mattress tip about, really take in and consider the context of reviews. And so what you could glean from that is, shop the competition. I feel you'll come back here and really enjoy your experience. We take care of your investment with us and treat you well as a customer, giving you some surprise gifts. And then in your home, we're treating it with respect, so much so that our customers shared how great our guys were. Those are the things you can learn from reviews. Those are the things that you can take and kind of use as this bridge to cross into, I'm coming into a trusted place. I feel I can confidently say, bar none, Gardener's Mattress and More is that trusted place to visit. And you'll learn that from the reviews that you check out that we have and put forth to you, whether that's a handwritten one on Facebook or on Google. So great show. Great time. See you next week. Take care. So there you go.